Behind the Brand features the people who are making things happen. Get insights to grow your business from the experts who've done it. Get Behind the Brand. Sponsored by DocuSign, the global standard for e-signature. Get your free trial at DocuSign.com/Behind the Brand. Hey, I'm Bryan Elliott. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Brand. Today I'm here with designer, bike builder, and motorcycle enthusiast Roland Sands. Roland, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Roland, how did you get this job?
I kind of gave it to myself, I guess. And I've been trying to fire myself since the day I gave myself a real job. So, my dad was in the motorcycle industry, so I've just been around bikes my whole life. Motorcycles, workshops, CNC machines, designing, building, and racing my whole life. So it's something that got into my blood and something I can't really get out.
Talk to us about the creative process. I mean, we look around this shop, there's drawings of bikes and concepts and bike parts everywhere. What does that process look like to you?
It's just kind of a daily cycle, you know? I wake up in the morning and I think about stuff, and I come here and I try and execute it. So that execution comes in a lot of different ways. It comes with like me doing it myself, drawing, sketching, designing, working with my hands, working with my people. A lot of it comes from like just taking ideas and discussing them and getting them out there. And then taking that pool of ideas and letting my crew run with it. You know, I got a really solid group of people that I work with that I trust. So designs and ideas, we all run in the same rut, I guess. And that helps to really kind of have cohesive design across the crew.
So where does some of your inspiration come from?
Inspiration comes from everywhere, man. I feel like all you really got to do is just open your eyes every day. And I'm inspired by everything that I see, you know. I mean, I'm inspired by nature. I'm inspired by, you know, just a lot of times what other people are doing, and that's in completely different other areas, whether it be graffiti, whether it's like, you know, whether it's on Instagram and you're seeing what people are doing, and you know, there's new places to find and discover things these days. You gotta have your mind open, like anything's possible.
How did you do it? Like, where did you start? You built this brand, RSD, Roland Sands Design. You know, what are some of the hurdles? Talk about what you've come across up to now.
With my brand, I mean, it really just started as like an idea, you know, and at the beginning, I just wanted to kind of do my own thing, and it was like, well, what should I name this thing? What should I call this thing? And it was like, well, people know my name probably more than anything else, and you know, when they talk about me building bikes or me racing or anything, it was always my name, so I'm just like, I'll just use my name,
yeah,
you know, and hopefully that'll stand for something, you know, and so that was how it started, and then that turned into RSD, which is Roland Sands Design. Wasn't very creative. It was just like, let's get it out there and just start working, because it wasn't about what we called the thing, it was about what we did with it. Yeah. It was about what we produced and what we made. So and I think that is the core and the root of what people perceive today as what our brand is. It's what we put out in the market.
Some brands will kind of try to create this tribe, you know, this group of people that can identify themselves with a brand. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have like a strong hold on what that is, because I work in so many areas. It's like our motorcycle hard parts are geared towards Harley Davidson. But when I say it's geared towards Harley Davidson, you think of older consumer, right? But we build so many parts for Sportsters, and I have all these young guys that are building Sportsters with our parts. We've like kind of created this custom product market for the Sportsters, yeah, you know, for this younger consumer. Then our jackets and stuff, I mean, we sell them in BMW dealerships and Triumph dealerships and, you know, like some of the bigger like Honda and sport bike dealerships. So our brand gets to a lot of different people.
So it really is individualistic.
It really is. That I think that's more what our brand's about, is being an individual, and I think it does appeal to a broad group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, people watch this show, they have their own companies, they've got a brand, maybe they've got a startup and whatnot, and they're trying to put the puzzle together. What mistakes have you made with your brand? You know, kind of these like do-over moments you wish you could do differently. Any of those come to mind?
You know, it's really hard not to be influenced by the culture of today. And, you know, there's been times when we've done stuff for design stuff that was very of the day, you know, and I didn't think it had a timeless appeal as much. So, and it's really different when you create what's hot. You know, and it's like, we've created a look. Well, sometimes that look has its ebbs and flows, you know, and it can be super hot and then not be, and then you're known as like the person who created that look. Yeah. When for us, it was like just a creation that we had, and like, oh wow, that was that was a successful product line.
Yeah.
But it doesn't define us. So it's about redefinition constantly.
Yeah.
And so when people pigeonhole you, you got to make sure that you're like already a step ahead of them, doing something different.
Yeah.
So they'll see something different and be like, whoa, okay, maybe that wasn't what you were about. And in the end, it's like, I don't know what these fucking guys are going to do. You know? I mean, that's really that's like how I want to be, is like people are always like kind of guessing what's going to be next.
That's a super important tip there, I think, is to constantly stay ahead of the curve, to stay hungry, to stay innovative. So I think another question a lot of people want to ask is, how do you get it out there? You know, like, what are you guys doing in terms of, you know, marketing? How do you get people to find you? I know you're building bikes for celebrities and different people. Like, how do you get found?
I mean, we've been in the motorcycle industry for a long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been a bit of a go-to for a lot of the magazines because they know we always produce stuff that's, people want to see it. They buy magazines because of what we build. They put our bike on the cover. And
it's eye candy.
It's eye candy. So we have definitely had that from you know, way back.
So you built a good relationship with the endemic publications. You got good relationships.
Yeah, and we've always been like very open-armed with any of the publications. They want to do stuff. They want to work with us. They want to use our product. We always really work with them as well as we can.
Smart.
But today, I mean, if I had to choose between online or paper, I would choose online any day because we have instant access to our consumers.
Yeah. So where are some of those places that you're finding success? What platforms are you using?
YouTube's probably, for us, is probably the biggest one. I mean, doing pieces like this, or working with Royal Purple, or working with Bell helmets, or working with Techniques and Panasonic, or working with, you know, Yamaha, any of these companies. When we do a project now, we nearly always film it. So we always produce a piece. You take that piece, you put it out there, and then it's there forever.
Yeah.
Or as long until you pull it off. But, you know, some of our pieces, you know, have, the last Yamaha project we did has like 2 million views now. And that's been like out for like a year. So that's great.
Yeah. It's good. Not bad marketing, not bad reach.
Great reach, you know, and like the majority of pieces that we do are 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. So those are people that press play and wanted to watch what you did.
Yeah.
They didn't open a magazine and see a static image, you know. And that's brand building, of course, but these people are watching your piece that you put out.
I know people who are watching, they've got their own thing, and they're always curious about what the marketing mix looks like. So, you know, are they buying ads in trade magazines? Are they doing TV spots? Are they just, you know, focusing on online to get people to click their videos? Like, what are you guys doing that's successful, or is it just all word of mouth?
From the beginning, I had this like when we started, I had this term that I use, it's called WAPFIS. And it was like, we ain't paying for shit. And that was really like my attitude, you know, for a long time before we really hooked up with our product distribution group.
Yeah.
And really started pushing product out there because, of course, you got to pay for advertising.
Yeah. Well, I know that's not entirely true, right? Because you guys do trade shows.
We do a couple trade shows, yeah. And I mean, the bigger the brand gets, the more you got to pay for. Because people used to just pay us to go places, or they would pay for us to get out there, you know. So it was, and people still do, which is awesome. For certain events, you know, that we wouldn't go to. Yeah. And then some things now we pay to go, and you know, you gotta pay to get your apparel out there, and you gotta pay to get your hard parts out there.
Yeah, you write POs against that, so it makes sense for you.
Yeah, I mean, we do a few trade shows, limited trade shows. We try and work with our distribution a lot. I mean, we do quite a bit of print advertising actually still. You know, and like our online stuff, it's not really like we have a big budget for it. We just do it every day.
What do you think about Facebook?
I mean, you can't ignore Facebook. I mean, having your 30,000 people on there that like you know, that means something to people. They see it. Having 100,000 people, 1 million people, that obviously means something.
Some of the people who are managing their own brand, or they're at the helm or whatever, they want to be the voice for their brand, you know, and if they give it to someone else, whether it's an intern or someone who's experienced in marketing, it can be tough because it's not their voice. Yeah. What's your stance on that?
I write 90% of our verbiage. So I mean, the ads, the catalog, the blog posts. Yeah. I write a lot of it.
Why is that? Just so it sounds more legit, or?
Because that's your word, you know, that's what you're putting out there to the public. So if you have somebody writing about a motorcycle that doesn't write about a motorcycle, a lot of times it comes off a little bit weird or contrived or different, or it's like, who do you have writing your copy?
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I'll have like, you know, Rodney downstairs, I'll have him write copy, or I'll have Cameron write copy. And sometimes it's cool to have it be a little different and change it up, you know. But other times you really want to say something. Like I was just writing copy about this Yamaha scooter that we did, you know. And what I want to say is, I think, pretty relevant to what the project is, and no one else can really put that down.
Again, I think that's a smart message. You know, if you're close to it, if your name's on the brand, then you ought to be exactly in sync with that. It's about authenticity. Are you on Twitter at all?
I'm on Twitter. I post mainly right now. I Instagram, and I'll post to Facebook and Twitter, which I think a lot of people are doing right now.
Yeah.
It gives me the ability to share my content really quickly. I'm all about like the least amount of button pushes. Emails and text messages, that's all I can really communicate too hard with anymore.
So what are some of the gnarliest stuff you've done on bikes?
Well, I raced for a long time. You know, I started racing when I was 19 years old. I think 1992, at the end of 92. And I raced about 10 years. Raced AMA Pro, 250 Grand Prix Nationals for like 8 years. Then raced in England, British Super Cups, did that. Raced in Spain. Did the Spanish Open Series on a 125. So
you ever crash pretty bad?
I crash all the time. All the time. So I have like, I don't know, probably close to, it's like up there around like 40 broken bones now. It's ridiculous. I limp a lot.
So doing all that stuff on bikes, you know, what are you afraid of now? Like, talk to me about fear.
Mainly I'm afraid of not being able to do what I love to do now. I mean, I still love riding motorcycles, yeah, but it's almost more important to me to be able to like surf and like walk good, you know? Like those are like my priorities now. I want to be able to do kind of the stuff I love and have the ability to have my legs work good. Because I broke my leg like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Because I was like really good before that. I was like skating again and I could surf. And, you know, I could still surf. Skating's a little bit tough, but it's, you really value just your everyday core, just getting around type of thing, you know?
How about in business? You know, what scares you? What's keeping you up at night as the owner of this growing brand?
I think our brand's branching out to like a lot more things now, so it's growing. I really want to still make sure that everything that we produce has my stamp on it, and then I work with everybody that we do, you know, but the more products you produce, the tougher it gets. Just on the hard part side, for 2013, we've got like 180 new products.
Wow.
Motorcycle seats, we launched a whole new motorcycle seat line with Mustang seats. New exhaust line with Vance and Hines, like all stainless steel and carbon fiber stuff. So we're working more on high performance products. And then a bunch of stuff with Performance Machine, like new billet products, line extensions from stuff we've done in the past. Then on the whole other side of that is all the apparel. And I don't know the number on that yet because we're still working on the new line, but yeah.
So talk to us, because, you know, again, the people who are watching the show are trying to figure out how to be successful, like you. So maybe give them some advice, you know, as a business owner, stuff that you have done right, stuff that you've done wrong, so they can learn from you. Because it's all about, you know, everyone wants to avoid mistakes. They don't want to fall in the same hole that you did or get in the same rut.
Yeah, it really comes down to what you want and what you consider success to be. Some people think it's successful to just build what they want to build and be able to do it their whole lives.
So how do you define success?
I think it's a mixture of self-satisfaction of producing something that you're proud of and then being financially successful. I think it's both, you know. If you care about what people think, or if you care about, you know, buying nice stuff or doing that. I mean, I don't want to chase like that I'm materialistic, because I'm really not that materialistic, although I'm surrounded by a bunch of cool shit. To me, it's more about making my own stuff and producing it. Like that's how I'm proud.
Yeah. We talked off camera about who your competitor is, and you told me something cool. You said, I don't really have competitors. You know, I don't really think about competitors.
Yeah, I try not to think about my competition as much. I notice and I use it. You know, if I notice, like, I see my competition or I see competitors doing something different along the lines, I'll keep that. I never want to copy anything.
Yeah.
you know, but I always have my eyes open, but just like I have my eyes open to everything else, you know.
Yeah, you're looking at trends, you're tracking what people are doing.
Yeah, but definitely not going and looking at somebody else's brand and going, I'm going to do that shit too. So that's what people do to us.
I was going to say,
pisses me
so
off.
has that been one of the
Yeah.
problems? So talk about that.
It's just constant, you know. In the V-twin industry, it's really bad. People copy. People are shameless, you know. They'll just take exactly what you've done and copy it.
And what do you do about it?
Nothing. Make something better. You know, if I had like a, you know, a nugget, it would be that if someone copies you or someone bites your style, don't get hung up on it. Just produce the next best thing and use it as fuel for your creative fire to get out there and do something better. Because if you get hung up on it, your competition is going to take advantage of that, because that's what your mind is thinking about. Your mind's pissed off and angry and thinking about somebody taking, you know, food out of your mouth. Well, it's like, forget that, man. Like, do something better and forget about it. The quicker you put it behind you, the better off you are.
Any last bits of advice for people starting their own company?
Do what you like to do, first and foremost, because you'll always sway towards doing what you like to do. If you try and do something that you're just like aiming for some place that you want to be and you don't really know how to get there, pretty hard to be consistent. Quality, man. Quality, quality, quality. That is everything. Because nothing, no matter what or how cool you make something, if it's not high quality, the person who gets it and pays for it in the end is going to hate you for it if it's not good.
Quality lasts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing feels worse than getting duped, you know? Somebody fools you into thinking your shit's cool and it's not. That's the worst thing in the world. They're going to tell everybody they know.
All right, we've been spending some time with Roland Sands. Roland, thanks so much for being part of the show.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Absolutely.
This Behind the Brand episode is brought to you by DocuSign, the global standard for e-signature. Get your free trial at DocuSign.com/behindthebrand.